Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Shata Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace, Abhacharna Ravinda A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya and Savior of the whole world Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giriraj Govardhan Ki. Shri Shri Yuga Dharma Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Gauranga. All glories to Jagat Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyaptam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayasha Bhadresha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavata Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 8, Text 15. Do you have it written somewhere? Thank you. Anyada Brisham Udvigna Mana Nashta Dravina Iva Kripanaha Sakarunam Atitarshena Harina Kunaka Viraha Vihvalo Hrudaya Santapa Tam Evanushochan Kila Kashmalam Mahad Abhirambhita Iti Hovacha. So there's no particular meter for this verse, so we'll try our best to form some kind of a meter. Anyada vrisham udvigna mana nashto dravina iva kripanaha sakarunam atitharshena harina kunaka viraha vihvala hridaya shantapa tam evanushocam kila kashmalam mahad abhirambito iti hovacha. Anyada brisham udvigna mana nashtadravina iva kripanaha shakarunam atitharshena harina kunaka viraha vihvala hridaya shantapas tam evanushocam kila kashmalam mahad abhirambitha iti hovacha. Anyada brisham udvigna mana Nashtadravina iva kripanaha sakarunam atitarshena harina kunako viraha vihvala hridaya shantapas tam evanusocham kila kashmalam mahad abhiramhita iti hovacha. Do you want to try reciting it? Or is it complicated? Kila kashmalam mahad abhiramvita iti hovacha anyada vrisham udvigna mana nashtadravina iva kripanaha sakarunam atitarshena harina kunaka viraha vihpala hridayam santapas tamevanusocham kila kashmalam mahad abhiram iti hovacha. Anyada, sometimes, not seeing the calf. Brisham, very much. Udvigna manaha, his mind full of anxiety. Nashtadravina, who has lost his riches. Eva, like. Kripanaha, a miserly man. Sakarunam, piteously. Atitarshena, with great anxiety. Harinak kunaka, from the calf of the deer. Viraha, by separation. Vihvala, agitated. Hridaya, in mind or heart. Santapa, whose affliction. Tam, that calf. Eva, only. Anushochan, continuously thinking of. Kila, certainly. Kashamalam, illusion. Mahat, very great. Abhirambitaha, obtained. Iti, thus. Ha, certainly. Uvacha, said. Translation. If Bharata Maharaj sometimes could not see the deer, his mind would be very agitated. He would become like a miser, who having obtained some riches, had lost them and had then become very unhappy. When the deer was gone, he would be filled with anxiety and would lament due to separation. Thus, he would become illusioned and speak as follows. Please repeat after me. If Bharata Maharaj sometimes could not see that deer, his mind would be very agitated. He would become like a miser, who having obtained some riches, had lost them and had then become very unhappy. When the deer was gone, he would be filled with anxiety and would lament due to separation. Thus he would become illusioned and speak as follows. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki. If a poor man loses some money or gold, he at once becomes very agitated. Similarly, the mind of Maharaj Bharata would become agitated when he did not see the deer. This is an example of how our attachment can be transferred. If our attachment is transferred to the Lord's service, we progress. Srila Rupa Goswami prayed to the Lord that he would be as naturally attracted to the Lord's service as young men and women are naturally attracted to each other. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited such attachment to the Lord when he jumped into the ocean or cried at night in separation. However, if our attachment is diverted to material things instead of the Lord, we will fall down from the spiritual platform. Om Jnanantimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurumilakam Tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Staptam Yenam Swayam Rupakada Mahim Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Gopal Krishna Goswami Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityam Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshataya Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So if Bharata Maharaj sometimes could not see the deer, his mind would be very agitated. He would become like a miser who, having obtained some riches, had lost them and had then become very unhappy. When the deer was gone, he would be filled with anxiety and would lament due to separation. Thus, he would become illusioned and speak as follows. So this is a very remarkable pastime in the Srimad Bhagavatam. After reading this, we actually get a glimmer of hope. A glimmer of hope. And the first verse that came into my mind after reading this was Svalpam apyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. I realized that by even performing a little bit of service to the Supreme Lord, trayato mahato bhaya. Trayato means being able to cross over. Then mahat bhaya. What is this mahat bhaya? Mahat means very, very magnificent, very large, very dangerous. Bhaya. What is bhaya? Bhaya means fear. Fear from what? Can anybody tell me fear from what? What is this mahat bhaya that we are talking about? Death. But there is even one subtle reason for Krishna using this word mahat bhaya. The original meaning of bhaya in the Bhagavad Gita is actually stated by the acharyas as being afraid of utilizing that, being afraid not to utilize that free will that we have, limited free will. Being afraid of losing that free will. That is a big bhaya. And then I was thinking, here Bharata Maharaj has actually performed amazing devotional service, but somehow he has come to the stage of a madman. Prabhupada uses the word madman because he thinks like a madman. He thinks that there is this attachment to this deer, and so he behaves in such a way that it is considered, he behaves like a madman. Why is Prabhupada using this word, madman? I was thinking. And yesterday we were discussing in the car, and then I remembered this verse from Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala. There Prabhupada explains, people who are mad are those who reject reality and accept that which is not real. That which is unreal they accept, and they reject reality. So these people are considered madmen. And then here, Bharata Maharaj, he's also considered thinking like a madman. Why? Because he rejects reality of servitude to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and accepts that which is unreal, that of remembering that deer. But at the same time, we understand there is hope. Trayato mahato bhayat, Krishna is saying. In fact, Lord Ramachandra states that if anybody, even once in their lifetime, even once, comes and says, I want to take the shelter of your holy feet, then Lord Ramachandra says, I have taken a vow. I have made a promise to take care of that devotee, to somehow take care of this person. So there is still hope. So an exalted personality like Maharaj Bharata, for him also, of course, there is hope, because he is actually an elevated soul, but due to certain circumstances, he has come into this position. Now, at the same time, we have to understand that this material world is dangerous. In the Brahma Samhita, it's stated, Yes, Tvindra Gopam, Athavendra Mahotsa Karma. Indra Gopa. What is Indra? You know who Indra is, right? Indra is the king of the demigods. What an exalted position. Yes, Tvindra Gopam. Indra Gopam is a one-celled living entity, just one cell, right? Yes, Indra Gopam, Athavendra Mahosaka Svakarma. Now, take Indra Gopam. This one cell living entity is so strictured, it is so constricted, that it doesn't have the faculties of its senses. It is so tightly bound. Bandhanu Rupam. The next verse, Bandhanu Rupam. How? It is so bound that its senses and its proclivities of its senses, it is not available to this Indra Gopam. And yet, life goes on for the Indra Gopa in its own material way. Reproduction, etc. And then you can imagine as the Indra Gopam, takes on another body with one sense as a faculty, just one sense. Then it advances maybe to another body with two senses, and then it advances to another body with three senses. And like that, we eventually come to a body where we have access to five senses. But what is happening? Bandhanu Rupam. We are still bound. So Prabhupada gives this example. You take a madman. I'm using this word madman again because we discussed it. You take a madman, and in order to give this madman some medicine, what will you have to do? You'll have to bind him first or hold him. They have something called a straight jacket. Have you heard of it? A straight jacket? It's a jacket with a lot of clips and leather and whatnot. They put this jacket and then they tie this person up so that he can't move. So when you're straight jacketed, then you can put medicines, force some medicines into this human being. So like that, the living entities, we are all straight jacketed. We utilize these senses and we perform all these crazy activities, and at the end of the day, it is considered nonsense in the material world. That is what we are performing, nonsense activities. So since we are bound, bandhanu rupam, what is the next word? Do you remember? Phalabhajanam athanoti. Phalabhajanam, we are bound. And then what do we have to do? We are bound because phalabhajanam, we are trying to reap some reactions from certain activities that we are doing. So that is our situation. But then again, right from the Indra Gopa to Indra, we are still constricted. Even at the heavenly planets, we are constricted. In fact, it is explained that going to the heavenly planets is so dangerous that even if the living entity goes to the heavenly planets and enjoys like anything till the bank balance of your karmic activities are completed, then what happens? How do you fall down? It's explained. There is this living entity, very handsome, enjoying like anything, and there's this woman sitting right beside him and he's enjoying with her. He's sitting under beautiful trees, and these are Kalpavriksha trees, so any enjoyment he wants, he desires, and he gets it immediately. And like this, the intensity of sense gratification is so high in the heavenly planets, you can't even imagine. At that instant, when he's enjoying with this woman, his karma, his bank balance of karmic reactions for staying in the heavenly planets finishes. Then what happens? Immediately he falls down. And as he's falling down from the heavenly realm, he's looking at that woman who was with him. She immediately turns her back and goes to the next person to enjoy more. And this person, while he's falling down, he's thinking, oh my God, Here I am, I've spent thousands and thousands of years trying to please this person, and the moment I'm falling down, she just moves away. And then he cries. He cries while he's falling down. And it's explained, as he's falling down, there are creatures out there, Danavas. They are waiting for these living entities to fall down. And as they fall down, they grab them, they rip them apart. So there is death even in the heavenly planets, and it is not an easy death. And as they rip them apart, this guy's crying. This person is crying. And as he's crying, he's remembering, what a waste of life. And then his soul transfers through his tears and it falls down into the material world again through rainfall. And then he has to start what? Janani Jatare Shayanam. Punarabhimaranam, Punarabhijananam, Janani Jatare Shayanam. He has to take repeated birth again and again. So this is the condition of the living entity. And even though he comes to this material world and accepts a body, that body is so constricted, it is very difficult. I mean, just imagine, take a crocodile, right? You see what a ferocious animal this crocodile is. But the crocodile has a problem. The crocodile can open its mouth very easily, just to come and snap it shut so that it can grab a living entity and, somehow eat them. But the process of shutting its jaws is very complicated. It takes some time. There are some mechanisms involved. So in Animal Planet, there's this guy called the crocodile hunter. What was his name? He passed away. Steve Irwin. I don't know if you've heard of him. He was very famous. He was a crocodile hunter. And I was watching Animal Planet because I was working at a television channel. So one of my jobs was to monitor certain networks. And Animal Planet was one of them. And there, Steve Irwin was explaining how the mechanism of the crocodile's mouth is so complicated that the life and death situation can be gauged by learning and understanding how the crocodile's mouth shuts. There is a certain amount of time when the crocodile opens its clams and shuts its mouth, and you can escape during that point of time. So he knew this trick, and he knew how to capture this crocodile accordingly. Many years ago, in South India, some very intelligent people, they picked up some baby crocodiles from some lake in Ambasamudram. And in Trichy, in that big lake in Trichy, they placed it out there somehow. And so all the other people thought, oh, such cute crocodiles, baby crocodiles, and they started feeding it. And in no time, these crocodiles became large, and then they became very dangerous. They would come on the banks of the Kunda. And this was becoming a big disturbance. And so they had to organize the army, they had to organize big fire trucks. Unfortunately, they did not have Steve Irwin to come and catch those crocodiles, but they had a helicopter, and like that, then they eventually had to bring a simple villager to come and help capture this crocodile, because this villager knew the trick. He knew that when the crocodile would open its mouth, you can place a stone somehow or the other, and it'll be very difficult for the crocodile to clamp its mouth shut, and then you can catch hold of the crocodile. So that's how they managed to trap this crocodile. So what I'm hinting to say is, even after accepting this material body, and even after trying to perform so many activities, we are so constricted and bound by the rules of material energy. The rules of material energy is so stringent. One cannot simply say, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajiti ante kalevaram. Is it so easy? Look at Bharata Maharaja's experience here. What happened? Yam yam vapi happened. He remembered the deer at the time of death, and then he got the body of a deer. Are you so certain? Are we so certain that we will go back to the spiritual world, we will remember Krishna? After spending years of Krishna conscious, being within the Krishna consciousness movement, I went to the Middle East. I'm talking about years of spending time in Krishna consciousness. This is my 40th year now as a devotee. Somewhere about 20 years ago, I was in the Middle East, and we were traveling with a group of devotees from Dubai to Sharjah, up to Abu Dhabi. And you know how the motorways are out there. We are doing 160 on the Dubai highway, Dubai to Abu Dhabi highway, 160 kilometers. Suddenly somebody just comes from this side, and the driver has to use all his skill sets to, maneuver the vehicle. At that point of time, what is everybody inside the car, including me, doing? We're shouting, hey, oi, mummy, daddy, Hari. Nobody said Hari Bol, nobody said Hare Krishna. And this is after years of practicing Krishna consciousness. Can you imagine? Then after everything settled down, we are saying, oh, Krishna. But at that point of time, I realized, oh my God, it is not enough. What we are doing is still not enough. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Here I am thinking about, some language that I don't even know what language this is. The other day I had some pain in my feet and I'm still using that same language. Do you know what language that is? What language is this? Then somebody told me, when you sneeze, don't go achu. You just add tha to the end. Achu tha. Right? When you sneeze, you go achu tha. At least in your mind. Then what happens? You're remembering? Who are you remembering? Achyuta. So this is how we try and make our life better. You remember Krishna one way or the other. Krishna says, Rasoham apsukaunte. We remember Krishna before taking some water. How many of you remember Krishna before drinking water? How many? Raise your hands. How many? Even the simple act of taking some water. How many? After that incident, I forced myself to think and remember about Krishna. Somehow this practice sustains, it helps us. This is most important. And you can see in this verse, there are two very important points that if you've heard carefully, there are two very important points. One is the word mind and heart is used. The mind and heart get attracted towards the material energy. But the same mind and heart can also get attracted to Krishna. So that is the secret of the Bhagavad Gita actually. The whole secret of the Bhagavad Gita. If you've read the Bhagavad Gita carefully, there are 5 stages to it. 5 stages, right? This is a non-technical aspect of the Bhagavad Gita I'm trying to describe. There are 5 stages to the Bhagavad Gita. And these 5 stages are basically categorized as general stage, general verses, some secretive stage, secret verses, some more secret verses, some most confidential verses, and the final stage is the super most confidential verse. These are the 5 stages of the Bhagavad Gita. Has anybody heard about this before? Have you heard about this? All right. So let's try and delve into it, because this particular word here, mind and heart, really attracted me. And then I related it to these 5 stages of the Bhagavad Gita. The first stage is the general stage, the general verses, right? You should not sleep too much. You should not, eat too much. You should not, these are very generic terms, general verses for the living entity to follow, right? Here the word is used, kashamalam. What is kashamalam? Kashamalam means impurities, right? Illusion. The same word is used as a general verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Kutastva kashamalamidam jnana karmadi anavritam. My dear Arjuna, where did all these impurities come into your mind? He doesn't call them impurities. He calls them garbage. Kashamalam means garbage. What is garbage? From the dustbin that is very stale, stinking, would you even want to accept that? That is kashamalam. And Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, these are the first words Krishna actually speaks in the Bhagavad Gita. My dear Arjuna, where did this garbage enter your mind and heart? And the same word, kashamalam, is used in this verse as well. Bharata Maharaj's heart was filled with kashamalam, illusion, impurities, garbage. Kutastva kashamalamidam. So, these are all general verses. Now, you go into a slightly more secret level of the Bhagavad Gita. And there Krishna introduces Brahman. He introduces Brahman. Right? Then if you go slightly more advanced, this level 3, Krishna introduces the super soul, which is more confidential in nature. Right? And then after introducing the super soul, Krishna introduces the most confidential aspect of Bhakti Yoga. But even then, at this level, there is no rasa tattva involved. Mellow fruitfulness of devotional service is not involved yet. That comes in the supermost confidential stage. So in the Bhakti Yoga stage, Krishna explains amazing verses. For example, he talks about how sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja. If you talk to many devotees, they think this is the supermost important verse. But the acharyas say something else. They say sarva dharman parityaja is your activity, the process of achieving the supermost confidential stage. And what is that? Man mana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mameshya eva satyam te pratijano priyosime. The acharyas say this is the supermost confidential stage in the Bhagavad Gita. And what does it start with? Man mana. What does man mana mean? The mind. And what are we relating to here? The mind and the heart. Where the mind is, the heart follows. Right? Therefore comes the point of man mana bhavamad bhakta. What is Krishna saying here actually? Have you thought about it? One who always thinks of me. So when you think of Krishna, now this is an important point actually. So pay a lot of attention. We have to think of Krishna. Bharata Maharaj has thought of something else. He has thought of a Hiran. And here, Krishna is saying, think about me. Right? Think about me. Now I said, where the mind is, the heart is. And here, it is explained the mind and heart together. Right? Hridaya, in mind and heart. Now, the point is, we have to give our minds and hearts to Krishna. But how do we do that? How do we do that, actually? This is a dilemma that every living entity in this universe is facing, and in the other universes as well. It is a big dilemma. How do we give our minds and hearts to Krishna? Now, if it's a problem, it's a big problem. We don't even know how to give our mind and hearts to Krishna. Therefore, the acharyas come and say, let Krishna come and take your minds and hearts away. You don't endeavor to give your mind and heart to Krishna. Let Krishna come and take your mind and heart away. So this is how it's explained. Man mana bhava. So in the Shastra it's explained how the topmost servants of Krishna, the gopis, are the perfect examples of the mind and heart not only being given to Krishna, but Krishna actually taking that mind and heart away. Topmost example. In fact, at one point of time when Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura, he had to call Uddhava specially. And he said, my dear Uddhava, these gopis, they have given their minds and hearts to me completely. In fact, they are so completely out of that state of consciousness that sometimes they don't wear their clothes properly. They don't decorate themselves properly. They don't know how to wear their ornaments properly. They don't eat. They don't sleep. This is their situation. So at least go and tell them Krishna is still remembering you and he will come for sure. If not tomorrow, the day after. He uses these words. If not tomorrow, day after, I will come. So this way at least they will hold on to their life air and continue living, Krishna said. So you can see the intensity of giving the mind and heart away to Krishna. There's a very nice example given in Shastra. Very nice example. It's a pastime actually. So in Vrindavan, Krishna and Balaram, they're getting ready along with millions and millions of cowherd boys to take millions and millions of cows to the forests for grazing. Right? And this is a festival. This is every day, every moment a festival. When Krishna is about to take the cows to graze, this is a big festival. So what happens? Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, all the cowherd boys, the gopis, they all want to come and see Krishna walk to the forest. So they follow him. And it's explained in Shastra that even the blind would want to come and see Krishna going to the forest. Even they want to come and have darshan, even the blind. So it's explained the blind, the lame, all the cowherd boys, the cowherd girls, all the children, all the animals, and also the insects would want to come and see Krishna depart to the forest with the cows to perform this pastime. So this is the mood of Vrindavan as such. And then Krishna, he's always hankering to see if there are any new gopis who have just come to Vrindavan. So normally when I say new gopis, newly married gopis, they just come from other parts of Rajabhumi to Vrindavan to live in their husbands' houses. So Krishna is looking around to see if there are any new gopis who have just come, newly married gopis. So in this family, there was this new gopi who had just arrived 2 days ago, right? Just 2 days ago. And she has heard a lot about Krishna. And she wants to meet him. She wants to see him. She's hankering to see him. But she had a very cruel mother-in-law and sister-in-law. And they said, no, don't ever make the mistake of going to see Shyamasundar. Don't ever make the mistake. Because in the forest of Vrindavana, there is a black cobra. If that cobra strikes you, that cobra's poison will enter your heart and you will never recover. You will never recover. So please, don't even think about it. So this way they were forcing her never to step out and hanker to see Krishna. But Krishna knows everything, and he knew about this new gopi's arrival, and he wanted to see her. Why? Because this gopi had an intense desire to see Krishna. And so Krishna was about to go to the forest with the cows, and everybody wanted to go and see him. This gopi also wanted to go and see, and she told her mother-in-law and sister-in-law, I also want to go. I want to see Krishna. The mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law said, no, you will not go. Then they locked her up inside and they went. They locked her up inside the house. And then here she was hankering, how do I see him? How do I see him? So there was this crack on the door. And so from there, she was trying to see if Krishna is passing by. And then Krishna said, okay, I have to see this new gopi. I have to see this new gopi somehow and give her my darshan. So he's very tricky. Krishna's very tricky. Shri Mohan ki, Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Gauranitai ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. So Krishna's very clever and he's very tricky. So he took this calf and he twisted the tail of this calf in such a way that the calf cried, wah, and it ran straight towards the house of that gopi. And then Krishna, in the guise of actually taking that calf, he ran after this calf and then he stood outside this house. He bent using his threefold form and he started playing his flute in front of that girl. And then what happened? It's explained that when Krishna played this flute in front of this gopi, it felt as if from Krishna's heart, all the mellow fruitfulness, the rasa, they came out of his heart. Through the holes in this flute, they came out and they entered the gopi's heart. Then what happened? Finished. Completely finished. Right? Krishna took the heart and the mind of the gopi, and what happened? And then he went away. He went away. But this gopi was completely stupefied. She lost everything. She lost the plot. She just stood there like a statue. Her entire consciousness was simply gone. Krishna just took it away. She didn't know what to do. She was not there. She was not there. Later on, after 20-25 minutes, the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law came. And they saw this woman. They saw this gopi and they said, oh no! She's given her heart away. That Shyamasundar, the black cobra, he has come and he has bitten her. Now her heart is filled with that poison. What to do? We thought our hearts are filled with that poison. We wanted to save her somehow, but she's also been struck by this black cobra. What to do? So they said, okay, let's give her a lot of work. let us give her some work so that she forgets Shyama Sundar. So they said, here, take some yogurt and make some butter. Instead of taking that bucket of yogurt, she takes mustard seeds and she starts churning. She's lost her consciousness. And it's creating such a lot of noise that the mother-in-law comes running, no, you don't do this. Here, take these 2 pots. She places it on her head, 2 pots, one big pot and one small pot. Go fetch some water. And the sister-in-law takes the baby and says, here, take my baby and take care of my baby. Be engaged in this household work so that you don't remember Shyama Sundar like this. So she goes, but she's lost her heart to Krishna. And then instead of tying the rope to the pots, she ties the rope to the baby, and she's about to put the baby inside the well. And all the other gopis, they come running, no, stop, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then one senior Mataji, she says, oh, she's lost her heart and mind to Krishna. That's what's happened. That's what's happened. And then she uses these words. It looks like a ghost has come and attacked her. Not an ordinary ghost. The ghost of Nanda and Yashoda has attacked her. But this way, the mind and heart goes to Krishna. That's how. And in this day and age, in this Kali Yuga, the greatest personality of all, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he has come and he has taught us how to give our minds and hearts to Krishna. How? By chanting together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the conclusion is, we should not lose hope. You see how Bharata Maharaj, although he became a deer, he still had the consciousness. He remembered. In fact, it's explained very clearly that, especially in the Holy Dham, who was mentioning this? Prananath Prabhu mentioned yesterday. Especially in the Holy Dham, these animals that you see like dogs and cats, they are there because they have some obligations to fulfill. They have not completed their devotional service properly. But although they are in that body, they still remember their previous birth as a devotee. So like that, Bharata Maharaj could remember his previous birth as a devotee. So this way, we are given lots of opportunities by Krishna. Lots of opportunities. First and foremost is somehow associating with devotees, following the Panchanga Bhakti, associating with devotees. What else? Who remembers Panchanga Bhakti? What are these Panchanga Bhakti tenets? What are they? Yes. Association of devotees. Next. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, reading Shastra. What else? Worshipping the deities. And? Somebody here? Residing in the Holy Dham and chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord. These 5 Prabhupada has given us. Mahaprabhu has given us. It's so fantastic. So there is a lot of hope for us. There's tremendous hope for us. If we simply accept this, take the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Shastra, Sadhu. Yad vibheti swayam bhayam. Like Lord Ramachandra says, in the beginning I told you, Lord Ramachandra says, I vow to come and protect you. If you simply hanker, even once in your life, to come and take my shelter. Apanna sanskritim ghoram, yan nama vivashogranam, yatha sadhyo vimuchyeta, yad vibheti swayam bhayam. Even fear personified is afraid of those who come and take the shelter of the Supreme Lord and chant His holy name. So what do we have to be afraid of? So I'll stop here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or if you have any corrections that you want to make, please feel free to do so. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yes, please. Do you have a microphone?
Hare Krishna. Thanks, Prabhu, for nice class. You mentioned here we should engage our mind and heart fully to Krishna. But what should be the criteria that so that we can engage, especially I can engage my mind and heart fully to Krishna constantly.
Yes.
But it seems that it is nearly impossible to fix this mind in constantly to the Krishna.
As long
But
as we are in
another-
the material. Sorry.
But another thing in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Rup Goswami Pad, he mentioned when in previous thousand lifetime, when he was fully dedicated to serve his lotus feet, only they are only able to completely engage in their mind to Krishna.
Right.
In this case,
Yes. Very good point. As long as we are in the material world, as long as we are under the influence of the three modes of material nature, and as long as we have these five senses, there will always be impediments to devotional service. There will always be impediments. Therefore, we have to take the shelter of the Guru, of the spiritual master. We have to take the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, and we have to follow Swa Adhyaya Bhakti. Swa Adhyaya, Swa means self. Adhyaya, what is Adhyaya? Regulatory practices, right? In fact, Abhyasa Yuktena Kaunteya, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, my dear Arjuna, you have to practice. If you don't practice, then we will not become perfect in that. So we practice by performing Swa Adhyaya. We are still conditioned. We know that. We are aware of that, right? We have all these problems that we face, and we are aware of that. But if you continue practicing under the shelter of the devotees, with the association of devotees, taking the shelter of the holy name, that end can still be reached. There is hope, like I said, right? Now, the important point is, it is not so easy at the same time, because we are bombarded by the material energy. The word agitation is used in this verse. Agitation. If you take a washing machine, right, there is an equipment in the center, right, like a stick that goes round and round, this way and that way. Do you know what that is called? It's called an agitator. It agitates the water. And as it agitates the water, what does it do? It cleanses the dirty clothes. We are still within this material world. There's a lot of agitation going on. But if we take the support of Guru Sadhu Shastra, then the heart will still get cleansed in the midst of this agitation. You getting the point? So then, of course, the next point is how in this situation it is explained that we can give our minds and hearts away. Here's the point. If we practice and practice and practice, then we may be able to give our minds and hearts away. If we don't practice, it's literally impossible. Otherwise, what happens? Kantavarodau smaranam kutastva. Kulashekara Maharaj, what does he say? At the time of death, what happens? Kantavarodau. Kantaha means your throat. What happens? Avarodhau. The word avarodhau has been used. Here, what word? There's another word that's been used, which is quite similar, if I remember correctly. Like we said, avarodhau. Yes. So, avarodhau means so much misery. How? At the time of death, you're lying on that bed. All the mucus from your body is coming and sticking in your throat. Right? Can you imagine the intensity of pain that you're going to go through at that time? Death is a very painful process. The other day, while clipping my nails, I ended up clipping a little bit of skin from my nail. Right? For 1 week, there was this center point pain here, and this pain actually passes through the whole body. But it's centered around that area, but it passes through the body. Just that little bit of skin being wrested out of the body in my nail is giving me so much discomfort and pain. At the time of death, when there is mucus in your body and there's a lot of pain, when the Yamadutas come and strip your soul away from your body, can you imagine what kind of pain you'll have to go through? Just stripping a little bit of skin from your body is giving you pain. When the Yamadutas come and strip your soul from that body with ropes, just imagine that kind of horrible pain you will go through. Smaranam kutastva, Kulashekara Maharaj is asking, are you going to remember Krishna at that point of time? Until and unless you have practiced Krishna consciousness. So it is explained we have to make Krishna consciousness a habit. And unless we convert this into a habit, we will not be habituated. Just like our Krishna consciousness was not such a big habit, therefore, on the way to Abu Dhabi, we did not remember Krishna's names when we nearly got into an accident situation. But that gave me a realization, and later on in Christchurch, when I was about to get into another accident with my cycle, that time I remembered Krishna somehow. Haribol Krishna, Krishna. But force of habit is what is needed. That is why Sva Adhyaya. Practice, practice, practice. Then there is hope. I hope that answered your question. Is there any other question?
I think it's the second verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Dhamma Projita.
Kaitavotra Paramo.
So I think it's that verse where Prabhupada explains that almost completely purified. Is that the right verse? Almost completely
He
purified?
talks about Nirmatsaranam Satham.
Nirmatsara.
Nirmatsara. Yes.
So in other words, not completely purified,
Yes.
almost completely
Almost
purified.
completely.
Yeah. So the process is, so for us, complete purification means almost completely purified.
In the material world, there is no purification. Even the almost completely purified state is still got impurities. Therefore, it is actually on Krishna's onus to come and pick you away. You just need to have the desire for it. You just have to have the desire. Somehow or other, let me serve Krishna. I know I'm impure. I know I'm bound by material afflictions. I'm in an impure state. Somehow Prabhupada has created this hospital. So I'm in this hospital in a very depraved state. My conditioned state is such that there are so many diseases I'm going through. Some people are in certain stages of diseases. Some people are in very advanced stages. But at least let me take the shelter of this institution, of this hospital. I know I'm still impure. Therefore, only the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can come and take us away. But we have to have the desire for it. The desire followed by the compunction of service, of actually performing regulatory service. These two have to be combined and under authority. Without authority, it's not possible. That's why Prabhupada set up institution, temple president. We serve under authority. We serve under guru. We serve under GBC. Like that, this is authority. Without authority, how can we move forward? So this is the process. Nirmat saranam satham vedhyam vasavamatra vastu shivadham tapatraya unmulanam. This whole material world is full of tapa. Adi daivik, adi bhautik, adi adhyatmik. Right? So many misfortunes are befalling us. There's always trouble. Mangalarti, I'm trying to chant, and there are mosquitoes biting me all the time. Okay, some of these mosquitoes are also getting some, chanting. They're hearing it somehow. Maybe they're drinking some blood of mine as well. Maybe because we've eaten so much Mahaprasadam, maybe that bit of Mahaprasadam is in the blood. So maybe the mosquitoes drinking some Mahaprasadam blood. I don't know. So like that, you let it go on, So, Thapatre Unmulanam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Parairishvara. Sadhyau Hridyavarudyate Atra Kritibi Susrukshubi Thakshanat Susrushaha. Susrushaha. You know what is Susrushaha? Who can explain? Susrushaha. Does anybody know what Susrushaha is? Serving the Supreme Lord. Tat Kshanat. Kshanat means immediately. Forget everything. Serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately. Then what happens? You just don't forget adharma. Dharma projita kaitava. This kaitava dharma is very dangerous. It's called cheating religion, right? You don't just move away from cheating religion, the Bhagavatam says. You uproot it. You uproot it and throw it away. That is the way. Kaitavotra paramo. You have to not just cut it off, you have to uproot it and throw it away. Cheating religion. And then follow proper Sanatana Dharma. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. It's explained in the next verse. You become muhuraha, then you become rasika. Very intelligent people will take up to this process. and take up Rasika Bhakta. Very intelligent people. And this Rasika Bhakta is in that verse, it's explained. Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto. Once again, back to devotional service with Rasa. Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto. We remember Krishna somehow with our heart, with our mind. Amrish Maharaj gives the most perfect example, right? Savai Mana Padar Vindayor. He uses all his faculties in devotional service. And these are examples we have to follow somehow. Thank you.
There was one other point I wanted. I was listening to a class of Srila Prabhupada yesterday, and he's talking about the process of purification and how one becomes liberated. So there's sadhana siddha, one who by performance of sadhana becomes purified and attains perfection. And then there's also kripana siddha. And actually for the person, Prabhupada, the example that Prabhupada was giving was Jagai and Madai.
Yes.
He said, what sadhana did they perform? Nothing. But just by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, they got perfection.
Yeah, that is the absolute mercy of Lord Nityananda. Similarly, there are other pastimes. If you look at Devananda Pandit, have you heard of Devananda Pandit? In Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was a big scholar. He was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, and so many thousands of people from all over Navadvip would come and sit and listen to him. But his Bhagavatam did not contain devotional service, devotional aspect to the Supreme Lord, Bhakti Yoga. It contained grammar, it contained all these esoteric elements to it, but no devotion. And then we have somebody exalted like Srivas Pandit, who's a Rasika Bhakta. He hears this Devanand Pandit, and still he just gets the mellows of devotional service, although not a single word of devotional element has come from the mouth of Devanand Pandit. No, that is the next one. When Srivas Pandit hears this, he falls down and he rolls down, right, in the dirt, and he's in ecstasy. At that time, Devanand Pandit's disciples and Devanand Pandit, they kind of think, what is wrong with this person? But they don't understand that he's in Mahabhava, and they walk away. Mahaprabhu got very disturbed by this. So Mahaprabhu went, and he was describing how he said this loudly when he heard Devananda Pandit speak Bhagavatam. He said this loudly. What is the use of this person speaking Srimad Bhagavatam without the element of devotional service involved, without bhakti to Krishna? That way he criticized Devananda Pandit. It was a big shock to Devananda Pandit. He couldn't understand. And then later, there was a lot of information going around that there's one great personality called Vakreshwar Pandit. He's going to chant the holy names of Krishna, but he's also the most beautiful dancer of Kirtan. He's one of the most fantastic dancers of Sankirtan. So many devotees, so many people from all villages, they wanted to go and visit Vakreshwar Pandit and attend his Kirtan. And somehow Devananda also heard about this. He said, okay, let us also go and see. And then there, when Vakreshwar Pandit was singing and chanting for hours and hours, and he was dancing in ecstasy, when Devanand Pandit saw this, gradually his heart became purified. And then when Vakreshwar Pandit fell down in a trance, he was unconscious. Devanand Pandit came urgently and immediately and tried to help him. When Mahaprabhu saw this, he was very pleased. He was very pleased. And then later, Devanand Pandit came and took the shelter of Mahaprabhu. And he said, I have no qualifications. I used to be such a, what was the word you used? Kripana. Yeah, I was such a Kripana. Right. So how can I even take your shelter? And Mahaprabhu said, you've already taken my shelter by first providing devotional service to Vakreshwar Pandit Prabhu. You've already taken my shelter. So now you can advance in devotional service. So this is the mercy of the Lord. Without His mercy, how can we even take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of God? That is the situation. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru Govardhan. Hare Krishna. Jai. Haribol.